Hello. Yo. Thank you, Ander, very, very much for the 8 months of Tier 1. I appreciate you. How are we all doing today? What up, what up, what up? Reads out my name as Dr. Forgone Blitz. It wouldn't be the first time. R.I.P. to the doctor. He lives in Brazil now, where he lives forever. He might come back one day, but for now, he lives in Brazil. We are so Ukabek. So true, so true. How's it going, everybody? Today's going to be a big day. It's going to be a good one. I'm very excited. I have a few rando seeds I wanted to try out with some new settings. We have more of the Magic Mirror all bosses, all relic stuff. What game am I going to play today? Sit on your dick and balls and do nothing all day simulator. I wanted to switch it up today. Something different, something new. Work at a pipe flood? Jeez. I'm surprised they're even asking you to come in after that shit. But, you know, gotta make money somehow, I guess. You don't know that game? True, true. Yo, how's it going, FLC Clown? The idea for today is we are going to play a few randomizers. It's going to be a fun time. And then I'm going to push my new video live for you all to watch. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you're a Patreon member, you can already watch it right now. If you're interested. It's been live since yesterday for Patreon supporters. And yeah. Dude, I can't believe I did it. I finished the fucking video. It felt like it was going on forever, but I finished the fucking video. It is by far and away the most intricate video I've ever made.
I'm interested in this.
So, Lewis, thank you for joining the Patreon. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, go check out the video, Lewis. It's holy shit, dude. I can't believe I did that shit. My next video is not going to be nearly as long. It's about 45 minutes long of very intricate research and editing and all that shit. So, oh, thank you, Layark. I appreciate it. Holy, I'm just so happy that it's over. And I'm already thinking about my next project. So, and that one should not be nearly as long. It's going to probably be like 20 minutes long at most, which is like, that's the sweet spot that I'm looking for, is like anywhere from like 15 to 25 minutes, no more, no less, for videos moving forward. Because like, holy shit, doing an entire 45-minute long video, it adds so much to like every aspect of the video making process. Like the research was longer because of it, the script writing was longer, the editing was a lot longer because of it. But if the video is like half as long, I can handle that like probably like once a month. So yeah, instead of waiting 60 days for a video, hopefully I can get them out sooner. But we'll see. We also have the move coming up, so during the moving process, I obviously won't be working on videos as religiously. I'll still try and stream and stuff and make sure Dragon Blitz Daily stays daily. So, which means we got to start backlogging some randos, because the move is happening like let's see here, like 60 days from now. Holy shit. Got about 2 months left in me before I move forever and ever and ever. Yo, Line Guru, thank you for the 32 months and the tier 3 on top of that. Holy. Unrelated, is the death fight hard in Aria, or am I just bad? The hitboxes in Aria of Sorrow are big time, mega, ultra fucked up, so don't feel too bad about it. The death fight is pretty tough, especially if you're new to the game. There are ways to make the death fight not as bad, but it's mostly like positioning and knowing what the moves are and when they come out and stuff like that. So Aria in general has some really messed up boss fights, so don't feel too bad. They're the types of boss fights where if you sit down and like practice the fight a lot, you can get good at it and it's pretty consistent. But the hitboxes are still jank. But if you're just playing casually, it's tough. Yeah, X3 is not happening today. I don't have the time for it, unfortunately. Tomorrow should be a longer stream, because I have to cut stream at a specific time today. But yeah, tomorrow should be more Soten, and we should be doing X3 tomorrow. Hopefully all of X3. I don't know how long it takes to do X3. It might be a few hours, so maybe we have to break up X3 into 2 different streams. I don't know. It all depends. But yeah. Alrighty. Boot up the randomizer. You're not doing map rando updates. This is Chimera.
I'm bad at the game!
Here we go. Yo, how is it going? Thank you very much for the prime. I appreciate it. Doing a Buster only run is surprisingly fun aside from the Surge's refight. Yeah, I could see that. Like, I like X2 a decent amount, and I feel like Buster only could be fun for sure. I don't know. I like the Mega Man X games. They are just like, I think there's just a bunch of small things about them that I feel like if I were to sit down and like seriously grind them in like a speedrunning fashion would start to be a little bit grating for me personally. Mostly like boss RNG. But I'm also like incredibly blessed to have spent so much time on a video game that I love so much, as in Symphony of the Night, because the game has so many aspects that are for me perfect for speedrunning. RNG basically like doesn't matter in Soten in a real speedrun scenario. It starts to matter a lot more at top level stuff. Like we're at the point now where Symphony of the Night speedruns do rely on RNG quite a bit. It's mostly RNG not fucking you over as opposed to like good RNG like makes a huge difference, which is annoying. But yeah. And obviously Symphony of the Night has like, in my opinion, some of the best movement in any video game ever, which is why I continue to play it to this day. So what makes you excited about the new WinCon with the randomizer? The idea is if you spread out the win conditions to be more than just the Vlad relics, you can help mitigate the insane amounts of luck that determines the winning player in randomizer races. That's my goal. Small example. Imagine you and I are racing, right? And there's a situation where Grand Falloon is a deciding factor, right? Whether you go to Grand Falloon or whether you skip Grand Falloon is a huge deciding factor in the race. If all bosses are required, then it doesn't matter. Both players have to do Grand Falloon at some point anyways. So you can eke out an advantage by doing Grand Falloon in a spot that is more efficient or makes more sense, or come back later when you have a library card, etc., etc. There are still ways to route around killing Grand Falloon better than your opponent, but it doesn't mean that your opponent wins because they're like, well, I hope there's no Vlad behind Grand Falloon. You know what I mean? Like that type of gameplay, in my opinion, is really annoying. Especially because the Vlad relics, there's no tell. They're completely random. Like them being completely random means that you can't even like suss out probabilities, especially early game. Late game, this is the thing that also pisses me off, motherfuckers, all of you motherfuckers who are just like, you know, skipping relics left and right. One of the reasons why creature skip at the very least made sense at the time when it started to come up is because that was the only thing that was being skipped. Everything was being checked everywhere else, such that you knew for a fact if you got to the point where creature showed up in the seed, it was a 80% chance, guaranteed, that creature was not the last thing that you needed, right? Because there's no random Vlads left in first castle that you just skipped on a whim. There's no random, like, you didn't do some weird combo route where you did left side, but then, like, teleported back to right side, some bullshit like that. No. You knew for a fact there's only 5 relics left. One of them is a Vlad relic. So each location has a 20% chance to be the Vlad relic. Therefore, there's only a 20% chance for creature to have the Vlad relic. Therefore, 80% chance for him not to have the Vlad relic. What ended up happening is that people kept stacking more gambles on top of more gambles on top of more gambles on top of more gambles. And now we live in a situation where it's like, I don't know, I'm skipping Succubus on vibes. I'm a vibe guy, and I'm skipping Succubus to seed. Why? I can't tell you. It's just vibes. And it's like, there's no rhyme, reason, routing that makes any sense there. It's just purely a gamble. And that has been the meta for like a year and a half now, maybe even 2 years. And it's just like, we have turned what to me was a very fun and interesting way to engage with the game competitively, where there's variance in the game such that, you know, we can do multiple runs and like have fun trying to suss out new routes and stuff like that. Now it's just turned into, we're doing a 45 to an hour and 10 long slot machine pull, and one of us is going to just guess correctly. One of us is going to get lucky, and we're just doing it through the veneer of playing Soten for an hour, which is like fine for entertainment purposes, much like pulling a slot machine if you just want to see the fucking shit spin, whatever. Like, I guess you're being entertained by it, but it's not a skill that's being expressed at all, which to me matters a lot more. Because, you know, maybe I'm biased, but I think being good at the game should be rewarded, says the guy who's good at the game. But yeah, it's a combination of the meta is really shit because people are willing to gamble their entire lives on like 40% chance that, like, not even, because I don't even think they could calculate that it's a 40% chance. It's just vibes. Like, people aren't making calculated risks. They're just like, fuck it, vibes. I'm going to skip this thing. Fucking sucks. That's the thing, is I am bad at the game, but I'm also good at the game. That's the weird thing that sucks about it. Is because everybody is bad at the game, but I am less bad at the game. Therefore, I'm good at the game. But me saying I'm bad at the game it's a whole thing. It's like a philosophical conundrum that you're not ready for. Like if there's a tree that's good at the game in the forest, but no one's around to play the game. Doesn't make a sound type shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's pull up the the boss script. Where is the... Oh, there it is. I think we're ready to go. You know what else sucks? Casinos that ban you for counting cards. So true. That's the thing, is before, Creature Skip was like counting cards in a way, because you were just making you knew all of the information, you had all the information available to you, and you were making a guess or a prediction based off of just like statistics. And you're like, well, this is the best statistical play, so I'm going to do it. Now we are just purely devolved into pure gambling. So it's true. Casinos ban you if you're too good. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, what's up, Seto? Let's do it. We're back. This time around, we're trying out a new preset with the all bosses and all relics stipulation. So we have to kill all the bosses and find all the relics in order to beat the game. Let's go. We're doing it with the Chimera movement augmentations. This is a movement-heavy preset, and I'm excited to give it a shot, give it a try, see what's going on with it. This one has the... what is it? The dash boots enabled at start. It also has... discounted wolf movement once we find wolf. And I believe it also has free mist transformations when we find mist. So essentially, it's just a preset that gives you good movement options once you find the good movement options, which is nice. So it should be fun. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube, you know, like, comment, subscribe for your boy, please. It does help out a lot. Everybody who's been doing that, I appreciate you. Dracula, on the other hand, is giving me the business. There we go. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, and join the live streams. I'd be streaming live on twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. And by the time you're watching this, I'll also have a new video on the main channel. That's right. I have a main channel that uploads occasionally when I get down to editing videos, which takes forever. But by the time this is out, you'll be seeing it. It should be speedruns that don't beat the game, I think is the name of the video. It'll have a thumbnail with boobies on it. Unironically, that is boobies. What am I going to do, man? YouTube sometimes... Look, the algorithm... There's no reason... other than... It's for the algorithm, guys. I would have no other... Why else would I care? Boobies? Gross. Yuck. I would never. Have I taken down my Christmas tree yet? Joke's on you. Never put it up. It's like daylight savings time, you know? You never have to change your time timer or your clock on your microwave or whatever if you just never switch it in the first place. So half the year you just do the math. Oh yeah, -1 hour. And then the other half of the year it's correct. I do the same thing with my my car clock. Whoa. Yeah, if you're watching live right now and you want to check out the video, it is available if you're a Patreon supporter. So just in case you guys didn't know. Oh yeah, I have the fucking dash boots. Let's dash it up. Hell yeah. I think backdashing is still technically faster sometimes, maybe? Maybe with shield dashing is faster. Hard to say. We do get to, 1, get owned, and 2, maintain our momentum, so maybe it is better to do the running stuff. Yeah, because maintaining our momentum in air is pretty nice. It's also nice that we start with a claymore, because 1, it's good for movement, but it's just like a sword that keeps us from finding literally nothing to attack stuff with. It's actually kind of nice. Not that I really care all that much, to be honest, because I could be fisting these enemies and it wouldn't be that bad. But, you know. Huge skip. You'll love to see it. But yeah, I'm very happy that I have finished the video. I've been working on it for literally 2 months now. Like I have I have notes from like 2 months ago when I started writing the script for it, and I'm like, damn, it's finally done. Let's fucking go. Why is it called the Claymore? Does that have anything to do with clay? Is it a sword made of clay, perhaps? Yeah, it's hard to tell if I need the numbers on it. I think the forward dash is... I don't know. I need to know the pixels per frame. My miles per hour, if you will. Oh! Oh, we're in Dracula's castle. It's one of those things where you sign a waiver, right? Before you enter. Where you're essentially like at the door being like, I hereby swear that all types of fisting, sword swinging, spell casting, I consent to these things, and I sign away my rights as a monster in this castle. Whether or not that's ethical to have that sort of waiver, you know, that's not for me to decide. That's for capitalism, I think. I don't know. And in this video essay, I will... one of these days, I'll talk about the economy of Dracula's castle, and it'll be a fucking, essentially a communist manifesto. That video essay would go kind of hard, though. Whoa! Not gonna lie. Like, what the fuck is that guy's name? He's the guy who does all the videos that are like, where do the rivers go in Breath of the Wild and shit? What the fuck? That guy? Where he stands in front of a green screen and does video essays about video games? What if I did one of those style of videos, but it's how does the economy in Dracula's castle works? And then it's just a, you know, me disguising all of my communist revolutionary political opinions in a video essay form. We need to kill all the bosses anyways, but do we come back for this later? Is that the vibe?
It's fine.
I think so.
I'm gonna save the game.
Prime subs rise up.
Stop talking to me!
Dracula's castle is actually Galt's Gulch, otherwise Communist Richter would have killed him. Oh, yeah, we can bring in Communist Richter. Oh, Any Austin, that's his name. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna die. I thought my Soul Steal didn't hit him at all because he was off screen. Dude, thrust swords are scary. Sometimes you'd be thrusting accidentally. No, Tomato Anus is mostly speedrun guy. Speaking of, Tomato Anus does make a brief cameo in my newest video. Whether he agreed to be in the video, you know, that's neither here nor there. Do a collab with Dinner Dog for that one? I don't know, man. I don't know if Dinner Dog's down for the silliness that I'm getting up to. Oh! It's perhaps. This is really bad, actually. How am I dying? Fuck, man. This is really annoying. Okay, well, since they're stupid, I guess we'll just do this. So much for my speed run. Dracula's just a guy that wants to go to space, let him live his dreams. I've heard that one before. We actually kind of want to do item checks. Well, I'll take a mana prism, sure. Eat the Chinese bun. No, I can't, because if there's video evidence of me consuming any Chinese products, I'm pretty sure I'll get a 100,000% tariff on my stream. So, can't be doing that. Isn't that the plot of Vampire Hunter D, Vampires in Space? Is that the plot of Vampire Hunter D? I feel like that's one of those things I should know. Not sure that's how it works. Yeah, if I consume product from China, I think the government sends me a bill for $10 billion or whatever. Me, an informed voter. Surely I understand what tariffs are. Do. Yo, what up, Viral? How you doing? Here's the question. This is an all bosses, all relics run. We are saving Minotaur and Werewolf for later, presumably once we find Mist. So far, it feels like this is a pretty slow start, but it's not, like, terrible, I guess. Like, we have options. Like, theoretically, maybe it would have been better since we have Leapstone to go to Castle Keep instead of going to Outer Wall. Now that I'm realizing that, yeah, I think that would have been better. Oh, well. It's fine. He'll be fine. My hair looks cool. You think so? Thank you. How long do Summon Spirit iframes last? That's a good question. I don't know the exact amount. It's like about a second, I think. I actually don't know. It's just one of those things that I kind of vibe out. Like, I couldn't tell you the exact amount, but I kind of, like, can intuit the amount. Okay, I think we do put on the Ares. Wow, even with the diamond plate, doesn't matter. Our defense is 0. On the bright side, we should be killing everything in like one hit. It's just that we will also die if we take any amount of damage. I will grab the gold ring. It is nice to have. I think I'm also going to skip the library here. And instead go to Castle Keep first. That's the plan. So I'm not going to grab the gold ring now because I'm just going to grab it later. We're going to go to Castle Keep. Presumably we'll find something there. And then we'll warp back to Outer Wall is the plan. I'm trying to devise ways that these routes can be unique and interesting while also it being like not a terrible idea. Fuck you, meal ticket. I was really hoping that'd be a library card because that could help a lot with routing, but it's fine. Because if I remember correctly, this preset has a complexity of like 8 or 7, probably 8. Most of them have 8. which means that I do want to check locations that are locked by Leapstone. And the two that are obviously locked by Leapstone is Castle Keep, the Leapstone check itself. Ooh, Shield Rod drop. Holy. The other thing that's usually
Tribute.
dropped.
You steal men's souls
nice.
and make them your slaves.
The other location is the Coliseum check, but we already did that, and it was just a familiar card, so we'll come back for that later. You what up, Crazy? I'm bad at the game. Streamer set the line. I am going to grab these because I have no defenses, so. And Shield Rod is cool. There might be a good shield in the shop. And the other reason why delaying the shop is actually kind of good here is we have money now, which we wouldn't have had otherwise. Who made this seed? If you really think about it, I was gonna make a joke about like theology or whatever. The grand tortoise or whatever that the world is living on. We're on the back of the world tortoise or something. No! Goddamn flea riders. Oh, yuck! Jewel of Open? Alright. That's annoying, but it could be worse, I guess. But I made this seed. It was just an idea that I had to try some stuff out. Tortuga? Ain't that a Pokemans? Isn't that one of them there Pokemons? So it wants us to go to the caverns, which is annoying. What if we instead now go to the library? And maybe we can skip a part of complexity because now we can do the fairy card check, which usually these seeds assume you can't do fairy card with just Leapstone. So the world is actually on a bunch of flea riders. That's why it's shit. So true. Ah!
You're smoking my penis right now.
Taurus Forge, thank you very much for the 3 months. Ooh, okay. Gas Cloud is actually nice for us because now we have discounted mana cost. That's one of the upgrades that we get for the Chimera preset. So it's actually a useful relic. What? Let's go. You need insider info on the Karma coins. Just look at Nancy Pelosi's portfolio on Karma coins, and you'll be fine.
I'm interested in this.
Sell, sell, sell.
I'm interested in
We need all relics, so I do need to buy that. Mana Prisms are cheap. Library cards are cheap. Chrysogrim! I think we go Chrysogrim mode. Damn. Yeah, just Chrysogrim so we never have to think about damage again. Where the fuck is it? And then we just buy Mana Prisms. Oh, and library cards. Let's buy like 5.
Thank you.
Because this seed does look like it might be ass.
Farewell for now.
Show. I didn't buy a shield? What am I, stupid? Why didn't I get a shield? How much money do I have?
I'm interested in
Enough for a shield. All right. Leather shield it is.
Farewell for now.
Ooh. Whoa. This cape and this color combo is looking a little yucky. Something that shit that makes me stupid again? What do you mean? What have I done today that is stupid? Name one thing. What did you say? I can't hear you over your cloak. Yeah, that shit is loud. What would a Joel Librarian emote look like? Jesus Christ. We're cooked. Our brains are so fried. Oh no. Dude, we can't be doing shit like that. We can't be saying shit like that. Oh no! So we're 17 minutes in. I don't think my route has been like super optimal necessarily, but it still feels like we're missing out on some movement. Better movement would be nice. I'm not gonna lie. Rip brain, yeah. Here lies brain. I'm having a funeral for the last of my brain cells later today. Wee, doobie doobie, smoking that shit good. I'm interested in fish. So true. We all are. So theoretically, I can make this jump. It's like quadruple ultra mega pixel frame perfect or whatever. So I'm gonna do it because I'm a god. How do you do this shit? I think I've done that like once ever. It's really hard. Nailed it. First try. You know what else is really hard, streamer? You can just run jump that in this preset with Leapstone. I'm stupid. Thank you, Dirtdrack. I did forgore that we have the fucking boots. We have that boots that make you go fast. It doesn't matter because this is going to be gravity boots anyways. Copium. Gravity boots, calling it now. It has to be. Ooh, well, actually, we needed to go back up anyways because that's gravity boots, actually. So, like, I was right, but, like, one step removed. Dude, I'll say it. The dash boots are cool. They're very cool. I am just not very good at remembering to use them. Part of me wishes they weren't here so I couldn't make the mistake of forgetting how to use them. Because that actually does make a big difference, being able to check that early or not, but it's not that big of a deal. It's like slightly suboptimal here. Ah! Okay, that's a lot of damage. Hold on. Give me my discounted soul steal, please. I didn't mean to press that. Memory check. Memory is a skill. Fair enough, I guess. Ah! Are they the same speed as optimized shield dash? No, absolutely not. Optimized backdashing is way faster. I don't know the exact speed of the dash boots. I think it's like 2.8 pixels per frame or something like that. It's like less than 3, which is like the average you get for like bad solo backdashing without a shield. If you're shield dashing, you should be hitting like 3.1, 3.2 pixels per frame easily. And obviously if you're TAS, you're hitting 3.5, which is literally perfect. They're slightly faster than backdash chaining. What is the exact number? Do you know? Is it slightly faster than perfect backdash chaining or just like average backdash chaining? Because there is a difference. I'm just going off what Mott told me. Okay. I do need to know the number at some point, because then that makes a huge difference as to which movement options I go for in any given scenario. Because if it's faster than solo backdashing, that's like 2.8, right? 2.9. Whoa. Come on. Wait, can I not make that? Oh. For some reason, I thought you could make that. Yeah, that makes this whole thing way worse than it was before. The main thing is dashing in the air. That is true, but it's really annoying to do, I'm not gonna lie. Like, stopping what you're doing to make sure you double tap every single time you jump is very annoying. And honest, it doesn't matter in like rooms like this as much, especially if you're front sliding as well, but when you're jumping across gaps, it matters for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the boomer in me. I don't like the idea of trying to optimize the dash movement as much. Mostly because the double tap on top of all of the other like ways that you can optimize your movement is just like APM wise it feels a little weird. You can combine your down forward for front slide. Oh, you can. That is kind of neat. Yeah, honestly, I wish instead of the double tap, I wish it was like maybe hold the special button or something. That might be better. Just for like APM purposes, but I understand why you wouldn't want to necessarily do that. Or hold L2 or something. I don't know. I feel like it would make it more comfortable if it was just like a hold for run type shit. Especially if it was L2, like that's like free, basically. You could just hold L2 the entire time. Because if we're going to have the dash boots, I feel like you want them to be accessible. It's just an idea, though. Because I feel like double tap for run makes sense on other characters because their movement generally is much easier to execute. Because you're not spamming backdash, turn around, but it has to be a double turnaround so that way you're running. Like, I think it just makes the APM just way... And also you would never get accidental dashes, which is another thing that can be annoying, right? Could be a problem from mapping L2 to something else. Yeah, I don't know. That's fair. I'm just offering an idea. We just need to find flight locations, right? I think I want to grab the teleporter and then leave for like outer wall and shit, I think. Personally, hold to run makes me tense my hands, which eventually causes problems. I can see that as well, yeah. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution. For me, if it's on, like, left trigger, I don't think that that's that big of a deal. Personally, because, like, I don't know. Maybe you are right that it would cause... Because I find the other issue is that I'm tensing my hand more because I'm double tapping every time that I want to move, which adds more APM. The act of double tapping causes me to tense my hands because double tapping optimally, you want to do it like with literally one frame gaps and shit like that. Well, leverless should be easier to hold down a button because you have just like map that shit to your pinky finger or some shit. You know what I mean? You guys are, I don't know, 0 players from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 would like to talk to you. All right, let's warp to Outer Wall and then Castle Keep, I guess. Yeah, that's why I don't play 0 in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, it's not a perfect solution, but I don't know. I do think double tap to do it optimally, which is the part that pisses me off, is it requires so much additional APM And I do think it's easier on leverless to double tap than on pad, but not by much. My right hand is moving constantly. Oh, yeah, you know, that is actually something to think about. Yeah. I don't know. Left pinky, though? You don't have a left pinky button on your leverless? Not a lot of pads do, so I don't blame you if you don't. I'm also somebody who obviously prefers to have like a WASD layout, so that way my left thumb can also be involved. Like having a thumb button dedicated to up always felt a little bit too much for me, but again, at the end of the day, I think you guys are right that it probably is unnecessary to have a hold for run button, but I personally would probably prefer it, mostly due to the idea of like additional APM from double tapping to dash. Use thumb for map? Well, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a way to do it ergonomically such that it doesn't hurt you. But also, I do understand the idea. If you're using your right hand as your hold to run button, I can see that for sure. Oh, I already checked this. I'm dumb. But also, like, I don't know. When I was playing Strive, I was playing Zato. And, like, negative edging shit wasn't really a problem for me. Like, holding on to my Eddie calls for however long I needed to never really bothered me all that much. But maybe I'm just different. Built different, if you will. Too stupid to play Zato? Well, that's the fun part, is you don't need to be smart to play Zato. Zato is fucking Unga Bunga. He's just as Unga Bunga as every other character. You just have to press more buttons. And also release buttons. I'm bad at the game! The greatest trick that any Guilty Gear player has ever played is them trying to convince other Guilty Gear players that their character is honest and requires big brain or whatever. They're all degenerate bullshit characters. That's the whole point of Guilty Gear. The whole point of Guilty Gear is that your character is dumb, stupid bullshit, awful, terrible game design, and I hate them. But that's every character in the game, so it's fun. Thank you, King Carpad. Guilty Gear is just one of those games, man. It's just one of those games where every character is bullshit and it's fun because of that. No, my Kai Kisuke is very honest. All right, motherfucker. Run cross screen. Fucking empty DP in neutral. Fucking head ass. Fucking. Charge your dumbass fucking lightning fireball that's like plus 20 on block shit. Fuck you. But I would say that about every character. That's the point of Guilty Gear, is that every character is evil. Every character is designed to be evil. That's the point. I probably should have went back to entrance, actually. Dude, I don't even have a transformation. This is like ass, actually. You're telling me that like the transformation that I need for this fucking seed is... Could be sword card, could be entrance, could be Grand Falloon. Ugh. Yuck. Dragon Ball FighterZ got murdered because the online was bad and the direction of the video game made it much less accessible by diversifying the cast's roles, which was a good thing for the game, but bad for people who just wanted to play the game casually. Because when Dragon Ball FighterZ first came out, you could play every character by learning one combo string, basically. And then, like, the 4 character-specific things that character did. By Season 3, every character had, like, 14 new special moves. There was, like, 12 DLC characters that were all busted as shit. It's like the power creep in every fighting game with DLC characters. Yeah, they eventually released rollback, but I feel like it was just way too late. And the balance of the game was already, like, way too far gone. Sounds like a bag fumble. That's the thing, is they could release Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 any day now, and it would sell just as good. Because I think that casual install base would buy the game again. Genuinely. Because obviously, Dragon Ball fucking sells. It's just one of those franchises that is immortal. Especially because it's like they already have a game. Like, all of the framework is done. They have all of the characters. If they just balanced the... Ew. Balanced the game again, rebalanced it, have the rollback update on launch. No, Dragon Ball has to be a tag fighter, unfortunately. The point of it being a tag fighter is, like, super important to the identity of the game, which is the idea that there are 10 billion fucking Dragon Ball characters. Having you use multiple ultimately makes for a... Like, it lets you enjoy the game more in a way. But I could be wrong. I personally think it being a tag fighter is cool. And that's coming from somebody who's not good at tag fighters. I do think that they are harder to balance, and I do think that Dragon Ball FighterZ was a game that was plagued with very unfun aspects of it. But at the end of the day, when you're just fucking, like, throwing the dumb fucking key blasts at your opponent and shit, and you're calling in your assists, and you're doing supers that look like fucking manga panels, the game's good. I don't know. It's just one of those things where when the game is at its best, it's very, very good. Yeah, the game is not at its best when you're putting your opponent in block stun for 3 years. IMO. I don't know. They did a lot good. They did a lot right in that game. Like, fucking Super Dash is one of those mechanics that, like, most everybody was fucking shitting on it because it was like, dude, this thing is so overtuned, it's so busted, it's so annoying. But in reality, that shit was a very, very good way of, 1, making the game feel like Dragon Ball, and 2, like, solving a lot of the how the fuck do I move my character problems. Like, how the fuck do I utilize my character and get past all of the bullshit on the screen? Just having a button that's like, ah, fuck it, I go in. Making the game more aggressive in that way was very good. Because the game was ultimately very defensive and always has been. Because as soon as you get touched by the opponent, you get a fucking party town for 25 minutes on their fucking shield or while they're blocking and shit. So ideally, it's like, you do not want your opponent to touch you. So everybody played defensive as fuck all the time, which is fair, but yeah. Yeah, I feel like they completely flanderized the game in the last couple of updates where they're like, fuck it, everybody gets combo extensions that last 45 minutes. You can now air dash cancel your thoughts about what you're going to have for dinner today. If you go into sparking with one character left, you actually summon God himself and Jesus. They come down from heaven to bless your controller and give you 4 new buttons that all win the game instantly. Which is like, you know, We didn't need to go that hard. Whee! But I'm also not much of a fighting game guy. I like the idea of playing fighting games, but I don't have the time to actually get good at them. So in a way, I am the core of the fighting game audience, really. Guy who's never good at fighting games, but still buys them and plays them for like a month or two on launch. And then complains when his ass is getting fucking mixed up in the blender. Saying this game is ass, they need to fix it. Shots fired? No. People forget that the casual audience for fighting games is the reason why fighting games exist. We can do this, so we should, even though it's annoying. Dude, not having a transformation in the second castle is such ass. Oh, I have to change my controls for this too. 1 second. Do that. You need to be this, and you need to be this. Go. Was that not a front slide? Really? Where'd my dive kick go? God damn it. Does it not work with Chrysogram? Oh, that's annoying. I didn't know that. Dude. There we go. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Dude, it would have been sick if there was a transformation behind him. Dead ass. Can you do it with a shield, actually? No, you shouldn't be able to do it with a shield, actually. Oh! I fucked it up. I forgot which button I had the shield on and which one was the fist. There we go. I got better at it. Love your big-ass smokeless vape pen. You mean my fucking water bottle? Jesus Christ. You're funny. You're funny, Max. Keep it up. You're gonna do great things around here. I want that. No. Water bottle. Yerp. Cop pulls me over. That's my glass water bottle, officer. It's just, I haven't cleaned it in a while.
He's coming. Oh,
Very
he's
dirty.
Coming. He's coming. What do I do? Help! Help!
Last Rose of Winter, thank you very much for the 4 months of Prime. Heard people are using their Prime on DBD. It reminded me to use mine. Nice. Yeah, use your Prime sub if you got it over on the Twitch channel. It helps me out a lot. It is literally free money that you're stealing from Jeff Bezos's wallet and giving directly to me. You could be the modern day Robin Hood. Much like Alucard be soul stealing, but instead of Cthulhu, it's Jeff Bezos. Can we put Jeff Bezos in the game, actually? I need it for medical reasons and hydration. Officer.
Tribute. You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
So... Thank you, Sunny, for the Prime as well. You the goat for real, for real. I'm starting to think this preset's not the vibe. Because we are 40 minutes in and we have 0 transformations. In a preset that is designed around transformations. Yeah, this might not be the vibe. It also took us like forever to get flight too. I don't know. That wasn't a diagonal. I'm bad at the game. My D-pad is wearing thin. Oh, that bonks, yeah. Thought I had a setup there. I like the idea of all bosses, all Vlads. Magic Mirror, yes. We're going to be playing more of that again. I think that so far has been the preset that feels the most new without it being too bullshit. I still think there is bullshit. Because once you get the Magic Mirror, getting the Vlad relics might be the gamble part of the randomizer, in a way. But ultimately, if you get the Vlad relics early, you're skipping how many checks? At best. Oh, thank God. Jesus fucking ass diddy titty fuck shit fuck. God. How long must I go without Soul of Bat? And now the fucked up thing is, does that mean that all rocks is the next step in progression? It can. Possible. Reading transcript from Diddy's trial? Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes that shit gets beamed into my brain chip. It's interference, you know. I got the experimental brain surgery so I could have a fucking advertisement button beamed into my brain or whatever. Or whatever the fucking shitty Black Mirror dumb shit. Fuck. Did you guys realize that the mirror in Black Mirror is like your phone? Because it's like... when you look at it, it's like a mirror, but blah. Anyways, what up, Vortex? Oh. But yeah, so far, I feel like the closest we've gotten to something that feels very new, but not too bullshit, is the all bosses, all Vlads Magic Mirror. But like, how many relic-only locations could you possibly skip if you got the mirror early enough? It's like... Merman Statue and Force of Echo is one. Because if you have the mirror, you can check both at the same time. So you get essentially one location that you could skip. Castle entrance? Fucking hell. I should refill. You are guaranteed to skip Spikebreaker, if that's what you want to do, yeah. Because Spikebreaker is vanilla. Skill of Wolf, I guess? But, like, you're already in the Alchemy Lab anyways to kill Beelzebub. I feel like the best you can get is skipping the 1, maybe 2-minute check to do Merman Statue, right? Because you have to do Succubus for the boss and also for the gold ring. I think that's good. The fact that at best you're skipping merman statue in like very rare cases is pretty good. Oh, I guess symbol, yeah. You could choose to skip symbol. That actually is a little annoying. So it's all cavern stuff. But the thing about symbol is you can go there with magic mirror from entrance as well. Which is interesting. That does open up route possibilities, which is, I think, very cool. Because that's one of those route ideas. Once you get the magic mirror, you basically have all shortcuts opened as well by using the magic mirror. It's really cool, actually. Yeah, the more I'm playing this preset, the more I'm like, we should be doing fucking Boss Reflector, I think is the name of it. That's the name Eldritch came up with. Boss Reflector. Fucking Mega Man X Maverick sounding ass. Dude, you didn't get the fucking armor piece in Boss Reflector stage? Noob. You didn't know you have to do the fucking pixel perfect spike jump? Diesel Bob. I'm gonna play Dark Souls 2. I read that as D2. Have fun. Enjoy guy in a suit of armor. Boss. Which one? All of them. So far, the only progression item we have found in the second castle has been bat, which is kind of nuts. On the bright side, I think we are full clearing the second castle. So that's something. But still. Diablo, Dark Souls, same thing. Would you rather play Dark Souls or Souls of Darkness? For $10 billion. So either there's another relic here, or the progression would have been to go back to the first castle. Yo, thank you very much for the bits. Much appreciated. The hype train has been activated. You guys know what to do. So yeah, on the bright side, even if we don't find progression behind Galamoth, at the very least, this seed has been annoying, but we needed to kill all these bosses anyway, so it's not like we're wasting our time doing all this shit. Whereas if this was just a normal Chimera seed, oops, I do want that. All of these checks would have been basically useless outside of the ones that had Vlad relics. So it does make it less annoying in the just guess correctly Olympics. Oh no! I got greedy. And now I'm dead. Shit. You guys saw nothing. I'm cheating. I don't care. I don't want to replay this shit. Because I haven't saved in like 10 hours. That hit me. That's funny. Yeah, I activated the time reverse relic. Everybody knows that. Fuck you. You have to like space that perfectly. God. Fucking annoying ass boss. Thank you, God. Oh my God. Yay, we did it. Fucking, ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this preset might not be the vibe. It has nothing to do with me failing to kill what is technically the easiest boss in the game once you get the stun lock set up with the best weapon in the game. And also, fuck you, you stinky, stupid, dumb Allrocks is the next relic. Whatever. Very annoying set of logic here. I don't know. How are there this many relics missing, actually? Am I stupid? Oh, no, that makes sense. We just live in the worst possible timeline. And also, I need to go to Allrox's quarters. Progression could be at Spikebreaker. Nah, that shit ain't real. I simply don't believe it. Copium. But you are right, it could be a Spikebreaker as well. That's really strange. Yeah, this preset, I don't know. I think we maybe just got really unlucky with this seed progression, like the way the seed wanted us to progress, but it just feels really bad. And imagine if we didn't have essentially infinite library cards here, it would be even worse. Because at the very least, we can clean up the rest of the castle relatively quickly because of the library cards. And it's not even like we've been playing for a long time. It's mostly that we spent the first, like, 45 minutes of the seed basically shield dashing everywhere, which is really annoying. I think it's one of the downsides of Symphony of the Night when you lock so much progression behind transformations, is that it gives you transformations late, which is the thing that augments your movement in a more fun way. I think it also doesn't help that I'm really not vibing with the dash boots. I feel like you want to find items. It was Spikebreaker. You want to find items that give you options enough, if that makes sense. I think the big part of it is like when you're going through a section of the game and it's like, okay, another relic that does nothing, okay, another relic that does nothing, and then into another relic that does nothing. Which sometimes just happens. Like you just get unlucky with the pacing of the seed or whatever. But I don't know. I think it can be just really grating to just find nothing for like 15 minutes straight. And I think a big part of it is also just if your movement feels bad while you're finding nothing for 15 minutes straight. I think it's a combination of those two things.
What can I do for
I do think there needs to be a middle ground for sure, yeah. Lay epic randomizer centrist. I think there's good complexity on both sides.
Farewell for now.
Like the ideal randomizer is kind of like starting from the base case of like what is the ideal randomizer. It is, in my opinion, having options early on that matter. Within like the first 10 minutes, having like some sort of movement option that changes the direction of the seed in some way.
Grab the coins.
God damn it. Alrighty. Coin flip time. You guys heard the Super Smash Brothers announcer. Remind me in 5 minutes to flip that coin. But yeah, I think the best case scenario is that you find progression within like the first 10 minutes that opens up the castle to interesting routing decisions. And you get to find useful stuff along the way while you're doing that. Like, you make progress along the way. Is it better to know where a seed is telling you to go somehow, but also that you can get extra along the way if you are able? Is it better to know where the seed is telling you to go somehow, but also know that you can do extra along the way if you're able? I think having a way to decipher what the seed wants from you... That was scary. Whether you work for it by, like, let's say killing a boss gives you information, or, like, doing specific checks maybe don't give you progression, but also gives you information. It's one of the reasons why the complexity system is really good, because if you're able to count complexity, you're able to deduce locations with, like, a high percentage of accuracy. I think it's another reason why I think, like, the Ocarina of Time randomizers are very good because of the hint stones, the gossip stones, giving you hints as to where stuff is. So that way, like, you're doing a check, but it doesn't, like, prevent you from making... It's like, oh, I went out of my way for this thing that gave me quote-unquote nothing, but it's actually information that lets me then determine the route for the rest of the seed, right? Because making a route and, like, using the information to the best of your ability, in my mind, is, like, the more fun skill aspect of Randomizer. Because, like, if I have info that, like, okay, Alchemy Lab has nothing of value, I can just skip it, right? If I earned that information somehow. I don't know if Symphony of the Night is the best game for it because we have so many limited check locations. But... yuck. Well, there's Final Vlad. Kiss the Karma Coin for good luck. Logical rules that everyone's aware of is good. Yes, I mean, it's the same reason why knowing how the relics exist in logic is, like, such a huge advantage, right? Like, knowing for a fact that Leapstone unlocks... like, if the only relic you have is Leapstone, the next step has to be either the Leapstone location itself or... the Colosseum check behind Minotaur and Werewolf, Soul of Mist, or Form of Mist. Having that info tells you where you need to go. But also, if you have the option to, you can do some out-of-logic checks if you have the skills in order to, like, dive kick off of the books or whatever, right? So then you get to make the decision of, like, well, I'm already in the library with Leapstone, so I am going to do this out-of-logic check. And then the out-of-logic check can maybe give you some info, where it's like, oh, wow, I found Gravity Boots here. So that means Gravity Boots isn't my in-logic form of flight. Now I know that if I go to the caverns or whatever or something, or if I go to Castle Keep, I'm more likely to find, like, Mist and Power of Mist or Bat or whatever. So understanding the logic is a huge portion of, like, understanding how seeds flow and giving you, like, inclinations as to what relics can be where without it just being, like, spoiler logs open. Because you need the understanding of the logic in order to make those kinds of calls, which I think is important. I'm going the wrong way. Like, that to me is where the skill in Randomizer is at its best, on top of doing that and, like, having efficient movement and making those routes up in the on the fly, right? So if I grab, like, Gravity Boots early, like, Gravity Boots is at Castle Entrance, I now know that, like, okay, if I don't find anything in the Alchemy Lab, then I should probably prioritize going to, like, Castle Keep or something, because I know that shit's in logic, and I can do that along the way by going through Coliseum. Or you can make the decision of like, well, actually, maybe it's better to go outer wall first because then I can get access to that warp early or check the shop early, right? Those are decision-making options that come up. Yeah, it's basically like having information gives you the means to make better decisions in a randomizer, which is nice. I don't know what you mean by... You've asked your question twice now, and I don't know how to answer it. I'm sorry, Caldane. I don't know what it means. Is the possibility of a bad seed required for good bad variants to exist, or is it just outdated game development? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Also, game development trope? Is having bad seeds a trope? Is that like a thing? I don't... Maybe I'm just not like a roguelite understander or enjoyer that much to like feel like that's a trope. I feel like it's more a consequence of having games that are relying on randomness to determine the outcomes. But that's just me. I probably should have grabbed Mermaid Statue, actually. Or done that check, I mean. Whatever. I have to do Grand Floon anyways, so yeah. Forgot that I skipped Grand Floon. I also have to go back and do Coliseum as well. I don't know. I'm not... Like, also the idea of a seed being good or bad is very subjective. So as soon as a randomizer update happens, theoretically, people will become... They will adjust to that as like the standard, if that makes sense. Right? Because if seeds are like, oh, they can only get this bad. We have a indication of seeds cannot get any worse than this. Once we have the worst possible outcome show up, people will be like, ah, that was a bad seed. Right? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. I'll grab that for funsies. Dude, this is actually really annoying. I'm just gonna library card again, I think. I think I need to buy more library cards. What if for every 50-50, the bad option gave you a hint to needed/fun relic? I think the issue with that as a solution is that you've already lost. Because the other person that guessed the 50-50 correctly doesn't need that information because they have the thing they need. Right? And also, it's a 50-50. If you go to the location and there's nothing, you already have the info of where you're supposed to go because it's the other part of the 50-50. If my options are go left or go right, and then I go right, and then the fucking a sign pops up, a Looney Tunes ass sign that says, shoulda went left, it's like, yeah, no shit, I know that now. If anything, thinking about that just makes me mad. It feels like I'm being trolled. It would be funny, though. So, in a way, maybe that makes it the best possible game design. Why does Grand Floon not show up here? Very strange. Your princess is in another castle ass idea. I should have went left bozo, yeah. Yeah, let's just go to this, because I need to kill Fuckface and Boo Boo. You're saying it gives you future info if it's nothing. I guess the issue with that is, like, that doesn't solve the 50-50 for win scenario. It just solves the 50-50 mid-game scenario, which is, like, still a solution to a problem that does exist. But I'm thinking of the scenario of, like, second castle go left versus go right. Right? So I guess if you're guaranteeing info early game, it could be useful. But then it becomes... I'm still of the opinion that if you just, yeah, I understand that you're spitballing, and I see where you're coming from. I think that it's probably better to force routes to just converge naturally, such that the variance of going to every location, like every seed requiring that all of the locations are, for the most part, homogenized. It turns into when you go to those locations is the deciding factor, not if you go at all. I think is like the best way for me to describe the ethos that I think would solve the problem, because in my mind, we had that solution back when everybody did everything. Mostly due to OG being the only relic randomization option. So because we knew that Soul of Bat was going to be somewhere in the first castle eventually, and Mist was going to be in the first castle eventually, that gave us enough info to do specific checks in specific orders. Usually just do as many checks as early as you can, as often as you can, such that you can get the bat movement as early as possible. And then it's like, okay, if some person got bat before you, at the very least, the location that you went to could have been you grabbing the silver ring earlier than your opponent. Or whatever. Like, there's still problems with it, but it homogenizes, like, the worst aspects of the randomizer a little bit. Well, the thing is if you find the hint or not doesn't actually matter as much. Because you don't need the hint to win. The hint is nice, but you don't necessarily need it. Because theoretically, you could stumble upon that route without the hint. Yeah, we'll do the coin flip in a little bit. The thing is, you don't want to add more relics locked behind more relics, because that exacerbates the issue. Because you're basically just pushing the issue down the line. Where it's like, oh, well, if we have more, like, mist-locked locations in Logic be required, it just means that, oh, now whoever gets missed first has a massive advantage. Or it could force more backtracking, which then exacerbates the issue of, well, this person is backtracking through an area, but they found Soul of Bat way before I did. So all of this backtracking is now way more efficient for them, and it sucks for me. That's one of the things that people keep bringing up is like, oh, more mist-locked locations, more Jewel of Open-locked locations. We've tried it. It's really bad. Or at least it has the potential to be very bad. Because then it's like, oh, shit, I can't do these checks efficiently. Because that's the other thing is, like, having locations that have high value is, like, super important to even out, like, some of the low-value locations. Alchemy Lab is a good example, right? Alchemy Lab has two locations, two relics that you can check basically back to back that are both available as soon as you find Gravity Boots. That means once you find Gravity Boots, Alchemy Lab becomes a high-value location to check, right? So skipping Alchemy Lab becomes a lot scarier because of that. And I think having locations like that is very important, whereas if it's like, oh, Alchemy Lab is now split, where it's like you only get one check because of Gravity Boots. Well, now I'm just going to skip Alchemy Lab, which is like you're adding more gambles on top of the already gambly nature of the randomizer if you don't have higher value locations and like lower value locations kind of coexisting. I should be doing Wolf Movement. Whatever, I gave up on like optimizing this randomizer as soon as I died to fucking Kalamoth. Honestly, before that. So the question is, do we coin flip using the karma coin? Because I initially started the coin flip gamble before we found the karma coin, which means it was assumed to be a Google coin flip. Coin flip using a real life coin. I don't have any coins lying around. Yeah. Yeah, I think requiring all bosses is probably, in my opinion, one of the better solutions. If we wanted more variety in the routing, we could maybe have a sub-list of bosses that are required that changes every seed or something like that. If we want to force more variety in routing, but I feel like it maybe would just become more annoying because it feels like you're doing chores. Less so than having creative routing decisions, but I don't know. I'm just going to toss the karma coin. It's heads. Congratulations, you win. Surely everybody gambled correctly there. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. One of the reasons why I also thought that like all bosses is like a good way to kind of normalize routing is I was thinking about like Super Metroid, and like Super Metroid is far from the perfect randomizer for us to be looking at because they have a lot of issues for like luck determining wins and stuff like that. But at the very least, it's like Super Metroid is a video game that has a lot of different options available to the player depending on the exact combination of items that they have. But you always have to kill the same bosses every time, which means you need the same items every time, or equivalents of those items, right? You need enough missiles to kill Ridley. You need enough health for Mother Brain, you know? Like, these are requirements, so it's like every player has to grab at least 3 E-tanks. Every player has to, you know, have a solution, whether it's charge and plasma or whatever for Ridley, these sorts of things. And then optimizing those decisions where it's like, okay, I can kill Phantoon right now with just missiles, or would it be better for me to kill him later with better items? That sort of thing. Have bosses unlock areas of the castle. That sounds like a ROM hack idea and not like a randomizer idea. Does that make sense? Like, that'd be fun for a ROM hack. I don't think it'd be fun for randomizer races. But maybe it could. Maybe it could. Possibly a terrible idea, but glitches are such a huge part of Soten's identity. What if glitches were allowed, but always out of logic? The issue is that glitches in Soten are really annoying because they're either way too powerful or they do nothing. Similarly to the items in Soten. Soten items are way too powerful or they do nothing. The glitches are the same. Right? Because it's like, I'm going to be honest, I don't think anybody is going to do a fucking shift line glitch to check fucking Jewel Sword early. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's out of logic to check Jewel Sword early, but because I have a double heart refresh and a duplicator, I guess I can. It's just so fucking annoying to do it, and you can potentially soft lock yourself. Like, there's a lot of issues with allowing glitches in Soten because it, from a quality of life perspective, you could lose a race because of like some subpixel bullshit. Because it's like, oh, I soft locked because my subpixels weren't fucking correct for the shift line, and now I'm zipped out of bounds and I'm stuck out of bounds forever.
Tell me, what were Lisa's
So,
words?
I don't know. It's.
She said, "Do not hate humans. If you cannot."
I don't think glitches are the solution, unfortunately.
It's fine.
For theirs is
I think more than anything, it's just we need to agree on presets that are just more fun. At the baseline, presets that are more fun will help a lot. So,
Farewell, my son.
SM has no glitches like that. Super Metroid, yeah. Well, Super Metroid has glitches like that, but they're banned. Because you can do like map corruption, memory corruption. You can do fucking like all sorts of crazy shit in Super Metroid. Like you can do arbitrary code execution in Super Metroid. I'm pretty sure. But none of that shit is allowed in the randomizers. They essentially do like no major glitches, which is usually just like tricks that don't have any sort of instability or like bullshit associated with them for the most part. So, but Super Metroid's a very different game in that regard. Like Super Metroid is a game where that stuff is available and more consistent, right? The closest we have is like dive kicking off of an enemy to get an extra check early, which is like, that only shows up in like a few locations. So I think it also comes down to the fact that Symphony of the Night isn't like the same as Super Metroid, where like in Super Metroid, if you do a check, at least you're getting missiles. At least you're getting, power bombs. You're getting more ammo. You're getting, even if you don't get an item, the thing you get still technically has value. It might not be the exact thing you need, but it's something that upgrades your character in some regard. Soden doesn't have that. If I do a check and it's the fucking short sword, it's like, that does literally nothing for me. It could have been empty and it does the same exact thing.
Fear not.
So it's not super fair to compare them one-to-one like that.
It must have been painful for you.
So, I don't know. Anyways,
But you must
YouTube,
always
if you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonButts. I'm going to keep ranting while I do another one live. So I'll see you tomorrow, YouTube. Have a good one.
I
Bye-bye.
understand.
Dude, I need a pee so bad.
What will you do now?
Let me be right back. Use the bathroom, and we'll boot up the Magic Mirror boss stuff.
To disappear forever.
I see.
Farewell then. We'll not meet again.
Alucard?
Don't you want to go after him, Maria?
No, it's best this way. I can't ease his torment. Someday, perhaps, we will meet again. And on that day, maybe.
I see.
Let's go. Everyone's waiting for us.
Yes. Let's get out of here.
Just like the wind, I've always been drifting high up in the sky that never ends. Through thick and thin, I always win, 'cause I will fight both life and death to save a friend. I face my destiny every day I live, and the best of me is all I have to give. Just like the sun.
So here's the thing.
When my day's done.
I think the core of what I'm trying to get to is, in my mind, the ideal randomizer experience is any decision that is random, that like you have no solid reasoning for one way or the other, gives you something that is different than the other route, but has the potential to be close to even in end time or over the course of the entire run. Those types of decisions end up evening out in the long run, which is why I think the bosses being required is nice, because it helps even out the route in the end. Like, you have to go to the same locations as your opponent every single time, such that ideally over the course of the run, the decisions that you made to get to those locations can even out, where it's like, oh, I went to this location, which gave me like, I don't know, Power of Mist before my opponent did. That didn't in the moment save me any time, but over the course of the run, I lost the time to get Power of Mist, but then I was able to make up time later, that sort of thing. And then your opponent will get Power of Mist later than you, or whatever. So it's like, if you diverge from your opponent, you're not like GG's immediately. You know what I mean? That is the goal. That is the goal. I think that'd be hard to like make a have a randomizer do that in logic. Does that make sense? Like, we would have to rewrite the randomizer logic such that it can determine when a 50-50 exists and then provide, like, progression relic, option 1, option 2, thing that speeds you up as your, like, consolation prize. If there was a way to do that logically, it might work, but it also might be annoying. I don't know. That's one of those things that I'm thinking about, but I don't know. I mean, we could do something where relic location holds a higher tier weapon and enemy drops can't be weapons. The thing is weapons aren't the only thing that matters. In fact, they're one of the things that matters the least in Soten as far as speed goes. The things that end up mattering the most is like, do I have bat? Yes, no. That's like number 1. Do I have library cards? Yes, no. That's like number 2. Number 3 is like, do I have duplicator? Yes, no. And sometimes duplicator is better than library cards on its own. So it's like, I think that's the tough part. It's like, how do you balance that? Ideally, I think it's the routes just converge naturally due to requiring the same type of shit from each other. And then that leads to routes being close to even, but because ultimately, the thing about Symphony of the Night is routes actually, some of the things that are like tough to determine which one is faster or not, stuff like, is it faster to go to the mermaid statue location from like warping to the mines or warping to Alrox's quarters or whatever, like, you know. And then it's like, oh, is it faster for me to like grab the Alrox warp early and then backtrack to Coliseum, or is it faster to go Coliseum first and then go to like those things end up evening out in the long run, right? It might be like 5 to 10 seconds difference here or there. So like those types of in the moment decisions like end up evening out because of the way Symphony of the Night kind of is laid out, which is nice. Like, off the tip of your dick, do you guys know which is faster? Is it faster to get to Silver Ring from Alrox's quarters warp or Castle Keep warp? The answer is it depends. It depends on if you've killed Hippogriff already. It depends on how much damage you can do, how much mana you have. Do you have Soul of Wolf? Do you have Soul of Bat? Like, all of these things determine the difference between those two decisions. But they determine it in a way where it's like the person who guesses right or like intuits the right route that is technically correct will save maybe like 20 seconds over their opponent. Not like 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, those are the types of decisions that I think it's like, oh, you get an advantage for being correct, but you also need to execute on that advantage to actually keep it, if that makes sense. That to me is like the ideal difference in route for randomizers. And the way that you do that is by forcing, at least this is my hypothesis, is if you force these locations to be required, like Silver Ring is a required location. That's one of those things where, how do you get to Silver Ring efficiently? It depends on the relics you have, and it depends on the seed. But every person has to go to Silver Ring at some point. Therefore, those routes will end up converging based off of the decision-making of the seed. And the other thing is, if you guess wrong, but the route difference is within like a minute, it's like, oh, well, I just have to execute better than my opponent, right? I guessed wrong, but I can make up that advantage by being better at the game. You know what I mean? Immediately being able to find bat is too polarizing. I mean, that's yes and no. it depends. Right? Because what if Soul of Bat is at castle entrance? Everyone's going to find that immediately. And then you all are working with the same, shit. Or what if Soul of Bat is at if Soul of Bat is layer 0, for example, everyone should be finding it at the same time. It's once Soul of Bat is hidden behind a 50-50, that's when it's a problem. Because Soul of Bat could even be like layer 4, but if there's no other options, right? If your layers are, or if your route is like Leapstone layer 0 into Gravity Boots layer, no, that's not it. Like Leapstone layer 0 into Mist layer, next layer into Spike Breaker into Jewel of Open plus Spike Breaker, then it's like, okay, well, like when you have a linear early game that leads to Soul of Bat, I think it's fine. And also, even if you find Soul of Bat earlier than your opponent still is making progress in other parts of the castle, things like killing bosses or finding items or finding other movement options, you know what I mean? Such that stuff can hopefully even out. But again, it depends on the seed. And sometimes finding Bat early is just going to be a thing. I don't think you can like force that not to be a thing. But the idea is if you force Bat behind a 50-50 that sucks ass, like left side versus right side of the second castle, like that's as bad as it can get, right? Oh, dude, Bat was at fucking Doppelganger 40. I lose because I didn't go left side, and I lost 20 minutes doing right side with no fucking movement. I do think randomized starting location could also help a little bit, so long as it's first castle only, maybe. I don't think random second castle can really be that good unless you have movement at the beginning. Like a Nimble Light with first and second castle randomizer locations could be maybe interesting. But then you also need to require all bosses such that you're, both going to the same locations again. But I don't know. I'm glad that we're actually thinking about this shit instead of just, hypothetically some random guy who didn't think about it at all, other than the idea of like, it'd be funny if, I don't know, you need relics to do spells now? Fuck it. Anyways, here's a tournament. This is all you're going to be playing for the next 4 months. Have fun. I'd rather have these conversations and these like testing things happen now before we get to the point where it's like, oh wait, we created a monster and now we have to deal with it for the next 4 months. So, problem is I'm bad at the game. It's possible. Hold on.
That didn't count. You're smoking.
You were
my
close.
penis right now.
You were close, Jojic. Thank you for the primes, by the way, both of you. Appreciate it. Can 100 vampire hunters beat Dracula? I'm Mr. Beast, and I got 100 vampire hunters. And they can't leave the circle until they kill Dracula. Yeah, we just need more ideas in general, and like working on those ideas collectively and testing them, I think is all good. Brand new presets should not be beta tested in tournament setting. IMO. What? What? Why not? Fucking wow. Can't believe you don't believe in anyways, I'm gonna move on now. Okay. We are back trying out Boss Reflector. This is the randomizer preset that gives us the magic mirror in the Holy Glasses location. And we are also requiring all bosses defeated and all Vlad relics acquired in order to open the final fight versus Shaft and Dracula. So far, first of all, fantastic cape color by Dracula here. Fully dripped the hell out. Second of all, I feel like so far this is the preset that feels the most like interesting in trying to create a new experience for the randomizer without it feeling too gambly. Finding that middle ground where, like, you know, some route divergences are allowed to exist, but they don't, like, get so out of hand that the other player just, like, wins by guessing correctly on a 50-50. This has been an ongoing saga as we try and identify more fun ways to play through the randomizer, such that we're not stuck with a tournament that lasts 12 months of, you know, the most unfun, uninteresting randomizer presets of all time, which keeps happening somehow. Somehow our community has gone through multiple randomizer tournaments where nobody enjoys the randomizer preset. Anyways, I'm not going to check my items because that's slow. Smiley face. So in randomizer but blindfolded, honestly, you would probably have a similar experience as far as like who ends up winning those. Although Sestrin would have a massive advantage, that's true. How's it going, Barkeep? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, as always, if you're watching on Dragon Blitz Daily, first of all, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out your boy. It's a free way to support the channel. You can also join the live streams on twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. If you got Amazon Prime, come over, drop a Prime sub. It's free and it helps me. Gives me free money, essentially, from Jeff Bezos' pocket. Soden tournament, but the floor is lava. Now we're talking. We need to actually make a Soden tournament, but it's all of the fucked up, silly, like, Lewis script mods that Weecock has cooked up. Things like the weapon durability. Things like, all that stuff. Steal money, let's go. How's it going, Queen Bee? How you doing? Fall damage? Dude, a fall damage tournament would go crazy. Out. Already we have an interesting, somewhat of an interesting decision. I think generally it's agreed upon that if you find Soul of Bat at castle entrance, you don't want to go back to the Power of Wolf location and do that check, because you can just do it later with more mana and it'll be faster, because it's right next to a warp anyway, so. You two can help jizz up the streamer. Well, if you get the right RNG. Every sub notification is random, so you do gamble every time you sub, if you think about it that way. Since you guys love gambling so much. Let me give myself the Sword of Alucard. Dude, I thought I double killed them for a second, but guess not. Oh, I don't have Dragon Helm, so I don't think you can double kill them that way without Dragon Helm. Boners rise up. Blood magic mode where MP costs HP. That actually would be an interesting challenge mode randomizer type thing. I don't think people would like it because generally, how do I put a boner in the chat? It is a subscriber emote, so you will need to be subscribed to the chat, unfortunately. Otherwise, you have to scrape the bottom of the barrel of ASCII art, which, you know, if you know how to do ASCII art, then, like, Jeweled Knuckles %. Is that just Knuckles, but he's fully blinged out? I'm down. Jewel Knuckles is one of the better weapons in the game. Frick that guy. Oh yeah, we can't do that. Oh yeah, that actually makes things interesting. I keep forgetting that that option is blocked off in this preset. It's my favorite, and it's cheating. It's not cheating. Oh god, what's the name of the Japanese runner? I always forget his name. Jewel of Open here is pretty interesting. But he does Jewel Knuckle in his glitchless runs. Yeah, I'm forgetting his name. It is an interesting route. He essentially doesn't like the idea of using Shield Rod, and his glitchless runs Or like Jewel Knuckle plus something else, I want to say. I think he maybe farmed Chrysogrim at some point. God, I'm really forgetting. This is like some old school Soten speedrun lore. But yeah, it's not like optimal or anything like that. Like the route is definitely slower, but it is good. It's like an option. I shouldn't be doing this actually. This is a mistake, but I'm just gonna commit to it. Kanyaka, yes. Kanyaka, I think is how you say that, or however you say it. He was the one that has done a lot of that kind of shit. I think eventually he ended up starting, he did do runs with Shield Rod, but for a while he had like the third best glitchless time, I want to say, without using Shield Rod, which was really epic. It was like me, Rom Scout, and then him. Should I go this way? Grab the warp now? So the thing is I just need to get Mist as fast as possible, and most likely Mist is locked behind Jewel of Open because of the way the progression works, and we can get Gold Ring early. So yeah, I should be optimizing my way towards Caverns, I think. Yeah, the Wing Smash Trail is very cool. Is that like a new update? Or is that just like happenstance that it looks that cool? Because I feel like it's like somewhat flashing. You can get a random Masamune drop in glitchless. You can. It doesn't end up being... I don't think it's faster, though. Especially because we do left side in glitchless, because we have to kill creature. So you wouldn't have the Masamune in your hands until you're fighting... At best, you've already fought all of the bosses except for Akmadon and Medusa. You're going full weave and moving to Japan? Hell yeah. Congratulations. That sounds like a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. One of the palette IDs and we revamped it. You think you're funny? You think you're cute? Saying you revamped it? Get him out of here. Mods? You can go to Sumo in person? Hell yeah. If I'm ever in Japan, I'll make sure to visit. I do want to go at some point in my life. Okay. Ooh, Ring of Fëanor's great. I would like to have a shield, unironically, but it's fine. Why do we start with Axelord? Oh, it's for the out of bounds stuff, right? I always forgot. We can go to Sumo. Let's go. Not bad. Now we have Gold Ring. We need Mist. Silver Ring. Which makes me think, actually. What if it's better to do Mermaid Statue first? With a save split? In this preset. The idea being that you want to save Scylla for later anyways, so if Scylla is not the thing you need, it's better to hold it off for later. Because you can combine Scylla and Doppelganger. And I need to do castle entrance anyways, so. Kind of a way for me to get a lot of checks done quickly here. I don't know, does this make sense to anybody else? Or am I smoking that shit that makes you sound like you're smoking that shit that makes you sound stupid? I need to keep that, unfortunately. Always smoking that shit, yeah. When in doubt, smoke that shit. Smoking that green blossom. Smoking that shit that regens stamina. What? This actually does kind of suck. Because I am just low on MP in general. Probably should have grabbed that MP max up then on the way over here. But whatever. Oh. That sucks. Yeah, this whole save split idea ended up not being that great for me, I want to say. Ugh. Stop, I'm getting fucking bullied. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not very... Yeah, this play ended up not feeling very good. And now I have to fly back up the waterfall? Yeah, I think this whole idea was kind of stupid. Because now I have to go back to fight Scylla. Because Scylla can still be missed. Yeah, that was dumb. I should have just saved this for later. Because, like, how much time would I have saved by having Scylla and Doppelganger be the same fight, essentially? Couldn't have been that much. And even then, you still have to do, like, the weird deload thing for Doppelganger. I don't need this, but I'm going to grab it. Yeah, this whole situation was kind of an L. But I did want to try something different. I also should have stopped and grabbed the shield in the first place. Just to speed up my movement. Like, I'm fucking thinky. Yeah, not only did I make a routing mistake, I also was being dumb about it. But that's fine. Lesson learned for next time. Because that whole detour was like, what, 4 minutes or something like that? Like, that's a really long detour to not be progressing in a preset that so heavily relies on finding the magic mirror as early as possible. Echo. Oh. Okay. What does that tell me about the... I mean, Echo has to be in Logic, I think, because Spike Breaker is still in Logic for this preset. Going down to Catacombs would have been a better play. Well, in hindsight, it would have been a better play. But also no, because I still needed the Vlad Relic. Unless you're saying, like, to save split away the Catacombs? No. Like, we needed to check Scylla there because Scylla is a progression relic. We were correct that Scylla was a progression relic. It's just that it was Echo. Which we don't need, but the logic thinks that we need. Yeah. I guess that, honestly, that is kind of fucked now that I think about it, because now... I wonder if there's a way for this not to feel too ass. Oh, no. Oh, that's really bad. I'm just not realizing that Mist can just be anywhere. Because Echo was the progression relic. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah. So the seed is telling me that Mist is quote-unquote useless because Mist doesn't get me Silver Ring on its own, as far as logic is concerned. So it put Echo as the progression relic because it thinks that you need Echo to get Spikebreaker and that you need Spikebreaker to get Silver Ring, which obviously I don't need if I do it out of logic, so... Enjoy lurking. Thanks for gracing me with your presence. Oh, this isn't even a thing I can do yet. I forgot. Oh, this whole thing is fucking ass. Mist can be literally anywhere. Is the problem. Wow. Yeah, I got completely owned by misreading what the logic could be. Mist is right behind me? No, it's not. You lied. I believed you, too. Fuck. Damn, that's brutal, actually. Damn. Yeah, not only did I make a somewhat early mistake... Like, the only way this route ends up not completely killing me is if I'm in a race with somebody and they skip the Tooth of Vlad. Honestly, that's, like, basically my win con now, which is, like, so annoying. I am still holding off on going to the library. Because, like, it's just inefficient to go now, unfortunately. Yeah, WinCon is them doing the same thing. Yeah, this is a rough seed. Like, having your WinCon be out of logic feels really rough. Theoretically, Mist is... It's not Mist that's in logic, it's Spikebreaker that's in logic, but Spikebreaker's not the thing that you actually need. So, the way that you solve that, funny enough, is... not have Spikebreaker be the thing that unlocks Silver Ring in logic. Especially for allowing Spikebreaker skips anyways. Like, if Spikebreaker doesn't actually force you to be required... If Spikebreaker isn't forced to be required for Silver Ring, it might just need to be not in logic. Does that make sense? Damn. Welcome, Real Reliable. What's the most annoying Soden enemy to deal with? I actually made an entire annoying enemy tier list that's on the YouTube. I think if you just look up Dragon Blitz enemy tier list, it should pop up. I honestly forget what I put at the top of that tier list, though. No, you don't need a potion to skip Spikebreaker. You can just do it with a Summon Spirit. Like, you can do it with no invincibility frames. Just make your own. Ah! I forgot there's a wall there. I'm getting cooked! Dude, oh my god. We're about to have all the Vlad relics before we have fucking Mist. What is this shit? Dude, this seed is fucking gross. Oh my god. It's like gross in like a really weird but interesting way. Because it's like, how am I supposed to route this shit? I just hope I find Mist here, I guess. If Mist is in the fucking library, by the way, like that fucking sucks for me. That's so bad. Yeah, I do think Spike Breaker for Silver Ring might need to be removed from logic, and that would solve this issue. It would mean that Mist is like later in the logic, or like later in the complexity for these presets, but the complexity should be more linear early on, which is fine. Like if it's linear logic early game into an open second castle plus boss routing, I think that's ideal. Like if your early game is you just trying to route the complexity steps early as efficiently as possible, and then the entire castle opens up with the magic mirror, I think that's ideal. But I don't know. Oh well. But that's why we test these things. Yeah, because this seed is now find Mist equals win, which is like the whole thing I was trying to avoid with this type of randomizer. Why does everyone hate Spellbound so much? Because they're playing it. Because they have to experience it. It's just a poorly thought out randomizer preset, unfortunately. Oh, we can't even get this, dude. This whole thing is ass. It was in the fucking library. Or it's, Spirit Orb, I guess. Damn. I got fucking owned this seed. Like, just literally every single guess as far as these like Mist could have been in any of these locations statistically. Like none of these locations are more likely to be missed than any other, which is so annoying. Like that's the whole thing I'm trying to remove from these types of presets. This preset smoking that shit that makes me stupid. Yup. Very true. Damn. Yeah, in general, the lack of having spells is very frustrating in Symphony of the Night because spells are one of the ways that you normalize the fact that Symphony of the Night is a game that is like not really meant to be played like very combat focused or anything like that. Like spells are the thing that supports you in combat more than anything else. Having access to Soul Steal when you're about to die is really important. Having access to Wing Smash for movement when you have Soul of Bat, really important for speedrun purposes. And taking away all these options and making them come up very rarely is just not good. Not very good. Like to me, I view Spellbound as like a challenge preset. Which is not something that you want to force onto other people for like tournament money. Like in my mind, people want to join a tournament for the idea of like going fast. It was not. It was the library. Wow. That's so annoying. Yeah, essentially, like, when you give people access to, like, the fun and interesting aspects of Soten, which is the movement at the end of the day. Like, Soten is a video game that is about movement. And when you take away some of the more interesting aspects of movement and then emphasize, like, the less interesting stuff of Soten, like fist combat, for example. It can be skillful, but it doesn't mean that it's a skill set that people appreciate being tested, right? Whereas I had a lot of fun using Spellbound. Like, I'm Spellbound's #1 defender because I played more Spellbound than a lot of other people because it was baked into the Impossible Challenge. And I fucking did hundreds of attempts of that shit.
Tribute.
Yo, what up, the bad gamer? You and me together, being bad at video games. Hand clasp emote. When I first started playing the game in a speedrun competitive style, I wouldn't use spells until I got used to the movement combat. Then I started to use spells to work on speed aspect. Yes, I guess. But that's like a different... Yeah, if you're like still practicing and still learning, that's like different than hosting a... Like the skill set of learning the game is different than the skill set of people who have been playing the game and are attempting to test their skills in a tournament setting. But yeah. Damn, can't afford the Varda. Can't afford anything! I'm broke! Fucking thing sucks! Mana Prisms.
Farewell for now.
Sure, whatever. I don't know. So insanely annoying. I'm not checking Soul of Bat. There's no reason to. Because I have to come back here later. I could have had this, like, I don't know, 10 minutes into the seed. We could have had the magic mirror. If we just didn't follow the logical progression. Oh, man, that's tough. That's tough. Did I open the shortcut? I didn't Coliseum at least? Okay, thank God. Thank God I didn't completely throw. If I didn't open that Coliseum shortcut, I would have just fucking rage quit. Because this seed is pissing me off. But yeah. Also, I want to state that, like, I don't think it's wrong to want to host a tournament using, like, a preset that you think is interesting or whatever. In fact, that's, like, every tournament I've ever done essentially follows that ethos of, like, I think this could be fun, so let's try it out type thing. But it's usually presets that have at least been, like, tested by the community, or at least like, every time I have the option to present a tournament, with multiple preset options or whatever, I ask the community, like, hey, these are the things that I'm thinking about hosting. How do you guys feel about it? That type of thing. But as soon as you kind of are like, well, I don't really care what you think. I'm just going to do the thing that I think is more interesting. That ends up breeding resentment. So... in my opinion. Well, Magic Mirror is in complexity. It's just that the complexity is being calculated with the assumption that Spike Breaker is required, which is what caused this problem. Because Mist was not a progression relic in this. The complexity Vlad? You're saying have it be the final step in complexity? Instead of being vanilla? Location? In a way, it probably should be in Magic Mirror. Because it's like, once you have it, you basically can finish the game, but, yeah. Forcing all complexity in the first castle sucks sometimes. No. I mean, yes, but no. It just means that, like, honestly, that does mean that you end up with more Jewel of Open early seeds, essentially, but yeah. Because it cuts out 2 complexity items / relics, it means that Echo does nothing and Spikebreaker does nothing. So I think if we did do that and not adjusted the complexity count, it would mean that every single seed would be a Jewel of Open early seed, I think. Why not remove Vlad's altogether? Well, the idea behind Vlad's is that it forces you to still do relic checks. Because if it was just bosses, it would be too fast. And it means that you would be able to, like, skip some stuff. You'd be able to skip stuff while your opponent is still, like, looking for the mirror, in a way. It kind of evens out the fact that, like, for example, it makes gambling even stronger in some spots. Because it's like, well, if this is not exactly the thing that gets me to Magic Mirror, it is useless. Right? So you end up skipping a lot of stuff, hoping to just bink the exact thing you need to find the mirror, and then you win the game. Type shit. Now we want to go probably caverns first. This is the routing that, like, is very difficult for me to do. I don't know. I mean, we basically just want to focus on bosses and do, like, an efficient boss route. That's the thing that matters more than anything, I think, because we'll find the last Vlad relic along the way. No, I mean that as another option for goals. Wait, what? Make the requirement 3 Vlads? Like 3 out of 5? I don't see why that would be a problem, but my brain isn't functioning at 100% capacity right now, so I'd have to think about it. Oops. Eat. This stupid fucking spell. I think this works, right? Nope. We do have to do these checks until we find the Vlad relic. How did the Spellbound tournament go? What do you mean, how did it go? That shit's still happening, is it not? I think I want to warp now. Thought it was over? It never ends. Another 10,000 years of Spellbound. Infinity Spellbound forever. Look, on the bright side, even if I can't conjure the perfect randomizer competitive preset or whatever, at least it'll be better than Spellbound. I think I want to warp to wherever. What's the next warp location? Is going to be the mines. Backtrack into the caverns, do that shit. And then maybe from there. No. Actually, I'd probably do this first. Because I need to, like, loop around this way anyways. So now we do Grand Falloon, stupid butt. Big Toss would have been fun. I think Big Toss in concept is funny. But an entire tournament of Big Toss, I think, would get At least it's different, right? It'd be like an entire tournament of like leg day, where it's like, at least it's different, but I don't think it would support the... In general, only one preset for the entirety of a tournament can become somewhat grating. IMO. I mean, the whole money aspect of the tournament stuff is also, you know, its own can of worms that I've discussed before, but don't feel like talking about right now. I must be the lone weird person because I actually like the Spellbound preset. Are you in the tournament? Because, like, you're not wrong for liking Spellbound. I like Spellbound. But there's a difference between liking a preset and then being forced to play it to compete in a tournament. Those are like different things. Like, do you like pizza? All right. Well, now you're forced to eat pizza every day for 4 months, or else you lose out on $5,000. All of a sudden, eating pizza every day doesn't feel so good now, does it? I guess I should check this before I fight fucking doo-doo ass, right? Is that technically optimal? I don't know. Yeah, it's spawn him in this way, I think. Yep. Do you get to pick the toppings? Nope, the toppings are randomized and they're always bad. Oh, there's no relic that drops from this guy. Whatever. You have to find the relics first. Yeah. Long story short, there's nothing wrong with liking Spellbound. I've already talked about it before. I think Spellbound is a good preset for having fun with the game and having like a challenge or whatever. But it's not a good tournament preset. And the thing is like, shocker, this had already been discussed and talked about beforehand. When the tournament was announced, it was like, yeah, this is a bad idea for a tournament preset. And guess what happened? Was any of the discussion from the community taken into consideration? Nope. Is that surprising at all? Nope. A single dominating tournament is never going to feel good. I disagree. This way now. You can have a tournament that feels good. It just needs to be ran properly and ideally doesn't take 5 months. And gives agency to the players in a way that, keyword dominating. I guess I read that as like dominating time, right? But I guess dominating could also have other implications as well, right? It was only like 2 months long. Yeah. Yeah, also, I don't think anybody was frustrated with the Lycanthrope tournament at all. The most frustrating aspect of the Lycanthrope tournament, if I remember correctly, was the agreeing upon certain, like, quality of life things for the tournament. But I might be misremembering when that stuff came up. It took too long. I might be misremembering, but like I was in the tournament, so I would have been playing longer than anybody because I ended up winning. But maybe I'm just misremembering. People were getting burnt out from it. How long did it take? I don't remember, genuinely. Also, it taking a long time, I guess, isn't that surprising. I don't know. That's also just the issue with like online tournaments in general is like they are likely to just take a long time just due to the nature of getting everybody together in the same place to agree upon like times and schedules and things can be very hit or miss. But... like the most frustrating thing about the Lycanthrope tournament was the relic gambling from my perspective, but that was already a big thing from the previous tournament, the Safe Logic tournament that happened before, I think. No one wanted to touch it after a few months. I think that's like going to happen regardless, though. Because people just want to do new things, right? If they're spending that much time playing a preset, even if it's a good preset, they want to move on to the next thing. But I don't see that as necessarily a downside. I do think having a multi-category, multi-preset tournament helps with that as well, because it helps keep things fresh, right? You're not being forced into playing some boring shit that you don't like. Do I need to do trio? I need to do... I guess I'll save trio for last, actually, because it's right next to the end of the game. So instead, I want to go to Outer Wall and then warp to Castle Keep, I think? I think that's the route I want to take. I also have to do Lesser Demon before I forget. Come on, Wing Smash, please. That'll never happen. Crazy. You can't force people to be worse at the game. That's genuinely unforceable, and also, in my opinion, unfun. For better or for worse, getting better at Symphony of the Night does have the downside of we are now better at the game. Speedrunning is a slow descent into killing the game that you love at the end of the day. It's enjoying it to a point where the game is still fun, but then at the end of it, it becomes unfun as you slide the knife in one final time, as the game is now unrecognizable from what it once was for you. But that's all speedrunning of all games. Did I beat X3 yet? No. X3 is on the back burner because I've been very busy with like video editing stuff for the main channel. X3 we will probably start tomorrow. So. I like Bounty Hunter. That's the thing. Bounty Hunter, fun preset, as long as you aren't like being forced to gamble your life savings on it. Anyways, oh, we still have to wait for the gamble to finish, speaking of gambling. Again, Symphony of the Night is allowed to be fun, just for the sake of fun. But as soon as you're hosting a tournament with the idea of finding the most skilled player or like identifying the most skilled player. You want to normalize the possibility of like all the bullshit. You know what I mean? Such that skill is the determining factor. Otherwise, you're essentially creating a slot machine with extra steps, and I've already talked about that many a times before. And you can like the slot machine. You can think the slot machine is cool, or like, oh, this version of the slot machine sure is interesting. Is it just Scylla now and Medusa and Akhenaten? Okay, so we can skip all the other checks. You could also argue that like you have a different perspective on things. Like, oh, actually, I don't think you know, it's bad to have the determination of the winner be like more luck than skill or whatever. And that's just a different opinion. Sure, you're allowed to have that opinion. Even if I think it's stupid, you're allowed to have that opinion. Yeah, everyone's allowed to be wrong, exactly. I don't know. You meant bingo? Yeah, bingo is very different than bounty hunter. Very different. Yeah, bingo I think is closer to the ideal of what I would want out of a... Oh yeah, you heal from stone. Yeah, RNG is fine as long as GDP per capita is not on the line. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've already rammed my freaking thoughts into the wall over and over again, but yeah, bingo is sick. I would like to at some point find a way to automate the bingo process a little bit better. Because it's possible. A tournament based on RNG is fucking stupid regardless of winnings. I disagree. You're allowed to have a tournament based off of RNG. Like, poker tournaments exist for a reason. And they are ultimately very skillful. It's just you need to balance out the skill and luck aspects of the randomizer. I keep forgetting that I have this, actually. No. Don't do it. Grab me. You sexy, sexy mummy. But the same reason why a poker tournament is cool and interesting and fun is the exact opposite as to why, like, a blackjack tournament would be cool, interesting, or fun. Where it's like, yes, technically there is a skill to playing blackjack. Do you know, how the fucking cards work? Yes, no. Very different. Yo, what up, Doc? Gamers do be rising up, and that, at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Also, one thing, I complained early on that I, like, completely shit the bed this seed, and I forgot about Darkwing Bat. Thankfully, he's next to a warp. But we're still finishing this shit in, like, 55 minutes, so can't be that mad. Oops. No. Dude. Can you stop it, Ralph? All my homies hate Ralph Belmont. How does he have infinite health, by the way? There's no reason to grab that. I was kind of actually hoping for a health max up, but that's fine. The other thing is I need to be using my mana prisms better. And I'll karma coin flip, actually, here in the CD room. And then we'll start another gamble for the last bit here. Tails! Did you guess correctly? No? Well, don't worry. We have another coin flip for you to procure your channel points through. Also, I had Masamune. I should have used that for that boss fight. It's literally always tails. Yep. Nobody tell him that it was heads last time, but yep. Duplicate relics are spawned throughout the castle to replace bad relics. Acquiring the second of any pair of relics will enhance the abilities granted by that relic normally by granting you more damage or by reducing MP cost. Okay. I think in theory that's a good idea because that I think also speaks to the idea that I was talking about earlier with the Super Metroid situation. The Super Metroid situation is crazy, by the way. Picture of fucking Moist Critical sitting in his chair. Where in Super Metroid, you get like the first set of missiles is the missiles that you need to open missile doors or whatever, but every subsequent set of missiles is now just ammo that you can use to kill bosses faster. You know what I mean? Same with like super, same with power bombs. The first one is the one that you need for logic, but all the subsequent ones can help speed up the game in other ways if you utilize them properly, right? So they're not wasted. Which I think is cool. Like that aspect of the Super Metroid randomizer I think helps equalize some of the bullshit. It also makes useless relics stronger. Well, it also means that like, oh shit, I missed out on finding Soul of Bat in the first castle. But there's a route for me to do early second castle. Maybe I can find like Force of Echo, which ends up giving me Soul of Bat anyways. And maybe I have to wing smash, you know, like my MP isn't as efficient with the wing smashes or whatever, but it's still good. Five Buffalo Stars to open up every red door. The thing is you would need enemies to be able to drop Buffalo Star refills. I want to investigate this further. I think this idea can work, and people suggested something similar before as well, but collect enough Soul of Bats, you get Bat Master movement. Stuff like that, yeah. I have no clue what you're talking about with walk armor being broken. That's something I'm unaware of, if that's like a real thing or not. I'm not sure. Yeah, if I had found Mist earlier, this seed would have been finished in like 42 minutes or something like that. I straight up would have saved like 10 minutes, most likely. So, you know, that's cool. You're thinking of heal armor, Major Seaman. Walk armor is the one that increases your defense based off of how much map you have. Healing mail is the one that heals you as you walk. So, all right, get your submissions in now. I'm ending the coin flip early. You guys have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is. Drum roll, please. Tails. It's always tails, guys. Always tails. Everybody knows that. GG's. Yeah, 55 minutes.
Go back whence you came.
Not bad.
Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
Not bad.
How is it that I've
Yeah.
been so defeated?
We're still working on
You have been
making
doomed
presets that I
ever
think
since you lost the ability
fix some of
to
the core issues that I have. And I ultimately, I do think a lot of people also share my opinion
For what
in this regard of like specifically competitive stuff, right? At the end of the day, if you want to make a preset where every time you press the L2 button and the and bat at the same time, it transforms Alucard into, you know, giant titty succubus with insta kill attacks, that's fine. I don't care. If you want to just play through the game casually that way, great.
cannot live with them, then at least do
But as soon as we start to be like, hey, we as a community are all going to get around this tournament that's going to be happening for the next couple of months. We're mostly going to be playing this preset. You want to, at the very least, if you're going to put that much strain on the community's attention and whatnot, you want it to at least be a good preset that rewards skill, such that the players who are invested in playing the randomizer and getting good at the randomizer get rewarded. Or else you end up in a situation where it's like nobody really cares about the randomizer or how good you are at it. They just, you know, they'll lose interest because there's no reason to continue to play and get better at it. And ultimately, I want a community that rewards players who are invested and care. Call me a fucking socialist, Marxist, fucking woke moralist or whatever for not why do speedrunners always want to go fast and not do it the right way? They prioritize the archetypical male in the marketplace of ideas. Fastest hedgehog. You're a beta male Sonic. You guys know what I am talking about. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. Drop a Prime sub if you got it. And I'll see you in the next one, YouTube. Have a good one. Bye-bye. You're a communist? No, I'm a woke moralist. It's different.
So you made it.
Alucard.
Now that's how you end a YouTube video. That's what I'm saying. Nobody does it like this.
'Tis my fault you had
Speedrunners
to
want
fight
one
your
thing and
own
it's fucking
father.
disgusting. Ugh.
Fear not. I had my own reasons
Alrighty.
for destroying him.
You guys ready?
Must have
I think
been
it's time.
painful for you.
Indeed. But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph
You guys ready? Let's do it.
is to do nothing.
I understand.
You could be the first to comment on this video. Go, 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 go. New video live. New video live right now. Go. You could be the first comment. If you all comment first, no one will know who actually got the first comment. But yeah, I worked really hard on this fucking video. It took me 2 months to make it. It's a 45-minute long speedrun video essay talking about different speedruns that I think are really interesting,
Go after him, Maria?
that all revolve around not beating the game.
It's best this way.
Here's the thumbnail. Oh, shit. What's that? Sex speedrun? Is it possible that I might be talking about sex in video game? Couldn't be me. Anyways, go watch the video.
Go.
I'm done streaming for today. I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Like the video,
Let's get out
comment,
of here.
share it with your friends. Do what you gotta do to help it in the algorithm. It would mean a lot. When we start speedrunning editing videos, it's fucking tough, man. It's tough. Take it easy, everybody. I'm going to be live tomorrow for more randomizers, and we're going to start up X3. So, stay tuned for that. Have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye.